Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sara Azam from class 8 Sadia and I'm the General Secretary of English Club. Today I'm in front of you to present my topic, which is brain and the different parts of the human brain. First of all, you should know that what is brain. Brain is the most important part of the body because it is the control system of our body. There are lots of organs in our body which perform different functions, but brain is the organ which performs every function of our body. And brain is divided into three: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. First, I will tell you about the forebrain. Forebrain is the topmost part of the brain, and it is divided into three parts: cerebrum, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Here in the diagram, you can see that this structure is the cerebrum, and below the cerebrum, the thalamus is present, and hypothalamus is present beneath the thalamus. Cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Therefore, lots of functions are controlled by cerebrum. For example, thinking, perception, decision making, seeing or hearing. Lots of functions are controlled by cerebrum. Next is thalamus. Thalamus, as you can see in the diagram, that this is the thalamus. Thalamus control our sensory functions. Sensory functions are those functions which are performed by our sense organ. And there are 5 sense organs: ear, nose, eye, skin, and tongue. The all functions of these sense organs are controlled by thalamus. Next is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is present beneath the thalamus, and it controls our body temperature and hunger and thirst. So these were the part of the forebrain. Next, I will move to the midbrain. Midbrain is a small part of the brain. It is not divided into parts, but it has a specific function. And its function is that it connects hindbrain with forebrain. As you can see that here is the midbrain, and it is connecting hindbrain with forebrain. The main function of midbrain is that it transfers messages from hindbrain to the forebrain. Next is hindbrain. Hind means end and brain means brain. It means that hindbrain is present at the end of the brain. And hindbrain is also divided into 3 parts: cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. It's not cerebrum, it's cerebellum. Cerebellum is the part of our brain which controls our accurate movements. It controls our muscle. For example, I'm moving my hand, it is just because of cerebellum, because cerebellum allows my muscles to move my hands. Next one is pons. Pons, as you can see in the diagram, that there is an oval-shaped structure. It is called pons. Pons control our sleep and equivalent and swelling. For example, whenever we feel sleep, our sensory neurons send messages to the brain, and then the part of the brain, pons, will allow us to sleep. Next is medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is the most important part of our brain because medulla oblongata controls our involuntary function. Involuntary functions are those functions which are not controlled by our own self. Why? Because, for example, involuntary functions are heartbeat, digestion, respiration. We can't control them because whenever we respire, can we control our respiring? If I want to stop my heartbeat, I can't because it is involuntary action. So medulla oblongata controls our involuntary action. For example, heartbeat, digestion, respiration, and lots of functions which are involuntary. Main fact about medulla oblongata is that it is the only part of the brain which keeps on working while the rest of the brain goes to sleep. As you know that whenever we sleep, we always respire. Why? Because our medulla oblongata is keep on working. So this was my presentation. If you have any query, you can ask me.
Yes, I have a question. What is medulla oblongata?
Okay. Medulla oblongata is the part of the brain which controls our involuntary function, for example, heartbeat, digestion, respiration. And it is the only part which keeps on working while the rest of the brain goes to sleep.
I have a question that what is the name of skull that protects the brain?
It is a good question. The skull which protects our brain is called cranial skull. As you can see in the diagram that the outlining shows us that it is the cranial skull. Next.
I also have a question. What is the weight of human brain?
That's another good question. Basically, the weight of the human brain is 3 pounds.
Excuse me, I have a question. What is the main function of midbrain?
The main function of midbrain is that it creates a path to transfer messages from hindbrain to the forebrain.
I also have a question. Of which neuron the brain is made of?
Brain is made up of nerve cells. Nerve cells are also called neurons. And there are 3 types of neurons: sensory neuron, interneuron, and motor neuron. Basically, the brain is made up of billions of interneurons.